Kobe Bryant was born into the family of a professional basketball player. From an early age, his father introduced him to basketball, and Kobe fell in love with the game instantly. Basketball wasn't just a sport to him, it became a part of his everyday life. As a child, he grew up watching professional basketball because his father was a professional player. Because of his father's career, the family moved to Italy, where Kobe began training and learning the fundamentals of basketball. Living in Italy also allowed him to become fluent in Italian and meet many basketball players. Even at that young age, his love for the game was already undeniable. After his father retired, the family returned to the United States, where Kobe faced a much higher level of competition. He had to prove himself all over again, show his character, and demonstrate that he was capable of being better than everyone else. Most kids his age simply dreamed of making it to the NBA. But for Kobe, that wasn't enough. He lived and breathed basketball. From an early age, he was obsessed with the game and dreamed of becoming the greatest basketball player of all time. His favorite player was Michael Jordan, and Kobe didn't just want to match his greatness, he wanted to surpass it. Even as a teenager, Kobe realized that talent alone would never be enough to become the greatest. You had to train harder than everyone else. You had to outwork everyone. Only then could you become the best. And Kobe understood that from a very young age. He embraced discipline and worked on himself every single day. He never made excuses and never relied solely on natural talent. He trained regardless of the weather, regardless of how he felt. He simply outworked everyone. It was this mindset that would later become the foundation of his Mamba mentality. It was during this period, while Kobe was still in high school, that the philosophy of Mamba mentality began to take shape. Kobe understood that talent was only a starting point. It was only half the journey. Greatness could only be achieved through relentless hard work and daily training. That became his ultimate goal. He worked and he worked. While his classmates were relaxing, going to parties, hanging out, and enjoying themselves, Kobe spent all of that time in the gym. While they were sleeping, he was waking up before everyone else to train. The word tired simply didn't exist in his vocabulary. He would start his first workout at 4 in the morning, then go to school, followed by team practice. But even after practice ended, he stayed in the gym and continued working on his game. Kobe was constantly improving every aspect of his basketball skills. He paid attention to every detail and wanted to become the most complete player on the court. He studied the greatest basketball players, noticing every little detail. And he especially focused on Michael Jordan, breaking down his footwork, technique, movements, and playing style. Then came high school. Kobe enrolled at Lower Merion High School, and from his very first seasons, he became the leader of the team. He displayed an incredible level of basketball that was far beyond what anyone expected from a player his age. Game after game, he showcased elite skills, broke school scoring records, earned numerous individual honors, and was recognized as the best high school basketball player in the United States. After graduating from high school, Kobe faced a life-changing decision: attend college or declare for the NBA draft immediately. Despite receiving offers from many of the nation's top universities, he made a decision that surprised a lot of people. He skipped college. Kobe believed in himself completely and openly said, "I'm ready for the professional level." Many people thought he was overconfident. Some said he was too young, that the NBA would quickly expose him, and that the league would simply overwhelm him. But none of that ever stopped Kobe. Then came 1996. Right after graduating from high school, Kobe declared for the NBA draft. For such a young player, it was an enormous risk. Nevertheless, he was selected with the 13th overall pick. He was originally drafted by the Charlotte Hornets, but almost immediately after the draft, he was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. That trade became the starting point of his legendary career and one of the most important decisions in the history of the franchise. This marked the beginning of Kobe Bryant's journey with the Los Angeles Lakers, the team to which he would dedicate all 20 years of his professional career. Even though he received limited playing time during his rookie season, Kobe continued to outwork everyone else. He never complained, never made excuses, and every single day he proved that he belonged at the highest level. That same season, Kobe got the opportunity to play against his biggest idol. It was the first game of Kobe Bryant versus Michael Jordan. For the very first time, Kobe stepped onto the court against the player he had admired his entire life. At that time, Michael Jordan was at the peak of his career. That season, he had once again won an NBA championship and was playing some of the best basketball in the world. But none of that intimidated Kobe. He wasn't afraid. He didn't break down mentally or lose the psychological battle against Jordan. Instead, he played with confidence and wasn't afraid to challenge the greatest player in the world. And Michael noticed it. He saw Kobe's character, his work ethic, and his incredible dedication. He realized that the young rookie standing in front of him wasn't just another talented player. He saw someone who was willing to dedicate his entire life to the game, someone ready to sacrifice his time, energy, and even his body in pursuit of greatness. Jordan recognized that obsession in Kobe. After that game, the two began to develop a close relationship. Kobe often reached out to Jordan for advice. They talked about the game, technique, psychology, and the mindset of a champion. Jordan shared his experience, and Kobe absorbed every word like a sponge. Over time, their relationship evolved into that of a mentor and a student. For Kobe, it was an opportunity to learn from the man he believed was the greatest basketball player of all time. And for Jordan, it was a chance to pass his knowledge on to someone who would eventually become one of the greatest icons in the history of basketball. And so Kobe's career continued. The year 2000 arrived, and Phil Jackson was hired as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. From that moment on, Kobe and Shaquille O'Neal truly began to shine. They became the team's biggest superstars. Their partnership was considered nearly unstoppable. Together, they scored an incredible number of points, and you could say, carried the team to victory. During those years, the Lakers won 3 consecutive NBA championships. Kobe and Shaq became the team's leading scorers and its most important players, helping the franchise dominate the league. Their partnership is still considered one of the greatest duos in basketball history. But despite all the success, there were constant disagreements between them. Kobe was an extremely disciplined player who demanded complete commitment not only from himself, but also from his teammates. Shaq was the exact opposite. He relied heavily on his natural talent, incredible physical strength, and dominance in the paint. Because of this, conflicts between them became more and more frequent. At first, their disagreements were limited to practices and games, but over time they spilled beyond the basketball court and became public. Yet despite all of their differences, once they stepped onto the court, they continued to play incredible basketball and win championships. Eventually, however, the tension became too great, and the organization was forced to make a difficult decision. Who would become the face of the franchise, Kobe Bryant or Shaquille O'Neal? After the 2003 to 2004 season, Shaquille O'Neal left the Los Angeles Lakers, while Kobe remained as the team's franchise player. From that moment on, a new chapter of his career began, one in which he would have to prove that he could lead the Lakers to championships without his superstar teammate. After Shaquille O'Neal left, Kobe became the team's sole leader and biggest star. It was during this period that he realized everything now depended on him. There was no longer a superstar teammate to share the responsibility with. From that moment on, it was up to Kobe to lead the team. That was when Kobe began to amaze everyone even more with his incredible work ethic. He woke up before sunrise. His first workout started at 4 in the morning and ended around 6. While his opponents were just waking up, Kobe had already finished his first training session and gained an extra edge over everyone else. And this continued day after day, year after year. He used every free minute to work on himself, training without days off while many other players were resting. He chose hard work over comfort. That was what set him apart from everyone else. Kobe played through injuries and continued to compete. He believed that a true champion fights until the very end, no matter what. For him, there were no excuses. There was only one goal: to win. But every superstar faces a defining crisis at some point, and Kobe was no exception. In 2003, he became the center of a major scandal in Colorado that led to a highly publicized court case. The story became one of the biggest topics in the country. Kobe was under enormous pressure from the public, the media, and the fans. Despite everything, he still had to step onto the court and keep playing. Kobe faced overwhelming criticism. Many people turned against him, and the weight of it all placed tremendous psychological pressure on him. It was during this time that Kobe created the identity of Black Mamba. Black Mamba became his second personality on the basketball court. This version of him felt no fear, no doubt, and no unnecessary emotion. It cared about only one thing: winning. Every time Kobe stepped onto the court, it was as if he left all of his personal struggles behind and focused entirely on the game. Black Mamba became more than just a nickname. It became a new way of thinking, a new philosophy that would not only transform Kobe himself, but would also become the defining symbol of his career and an enduring legacy for millions of people around the world. And then came the moment after the crisis. After Shaquille O'Neal left in 2004, many people believed that Kobe would never win another championship without such a dominant teammate. He now had to prove them wrong. The first few years were far from easy. Kobe carried an enormous amount of responsibility on his shoulders. Even without another superstar by his side, he continued to put up incredible numbers, but it still wasn't enough. He could win games almost single-handedly, yet that alone wasn't enough to lead the team to an NBA championship. Then, in 2006, Kobe scored 81 points in a single game. At the time, it was the second highest scoring performance in NBA history, behind only Wilt Chamberlain's record. After that, he went on an unbelievable streak of games in which he scored more than 50 points. It was an extraordinary level of basketball, but even that wasn't enough to win a championship. Before the 2006 to 2007 season, Kobe changed his jersey number from 8 to 24. The new number became the symbol of a new chapter in his career. Kobe himself explained that number 24 represented his commitment to getting better every single day and giving his absolute maximum during all 24 hours of the day. After that, Kobe continued to play at an incredible level. At the same time, the Lakers began building a stronger team around him, giving him another opportunity to compete for a championship. In 2008, he won his first NBA Most Valuable Player (MVP) award. In 2009, he led the Los Angeles Lakers to an NBA championship without Shaquille O'Neal and was named the NBA Finals MVP. Then, in 2010, he captured a second consecutive championship and once again earned the Finals MVP award. With those victories, Kobe proved to the entire world that he could win without another superstar by his side. He became a champion as the undisputed leader of his team and cemented his place among the greatest basketball players in history. In the spring of 2013, the Los Angeles Lakers were fighting for a spot in the NBA playoffs. Kobe barely rested. He was playing at the absolute limit of his abilities. He had already reached an age when many players begin to retire, but not Kobe. He had suffered countless injuries throughout his career, yet he continued to give everything he had. Despite his age and constant physical pain, he still trained harder than anyone else. Then, during one of the most important games of the season, disaster struck. Kobe tore his Achilles tendon. It is one of the most devastating injuries in sports, an injury that leaves most people unable to even stand. But Kobe was different. Despite the excruciating pain, He walked to the free throw line on his own, calmly made both free throws, and only then slowly walked off the court without anyone's help. That moment captured everything Kobe stood for. It was the perfect embodiment of his Mamba mentality. He showed the world that a true champion fights until the very end, regardless of the pain, regardless of the injury, regardless of the circumstances. In 2016, Kobe played the final game of his NBA career, and even then, he made history. In his farewell game, he scored 60 points. No one had ever ended an NBA career in such spectacular fashion. Many players never score that many points in a single game during their entire careers. Yet Kobe did it in the very last game of his. Over the course of his career, Kobe spent 20 years with one franchise, the Los Angeles Lakers. He won 5 NBA championships, was named NBA Finals MVP twice, earned 1 NBA Most Valuable Player MVP award, broke countless records, cemented his place in NBA history, and became one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Sadly, on January 26, 2020, Kobe Bryant tragically lost his life in a helicopter crash alongside his daughter Gianna and 7 other people. The news shocked the entire world and became an enormous loss for the global sports community. Millions of people mourned his passing, paid tribute to his legacy, and arenas around the world held moments of silence in his honor. But even after his death, Kobe continues to inspire people through his example and his philosophy of Mamba mentality. His legacy lives on in the hearts of millions, reminding us that greatness is built through discipline, relentless hard work, and an unwavering belief in your purpose.